Hello everybody, this is Mariana. So I'm just tuning in here today to make a kind of pop-up video, because it's not for a particular zodiac sign. It's actually like the title, I would say, would be something like "What Now?" That is what has kept popping up in my head today. It's like, what now? With the new moon reading I just did, there was a message like maybe time to figure out, to find new routes, or that the situation you're in is not maybe what you want to be in. And now I have this following question, like, so but if I want to make that jump or that change, what now then? What am I supposed to do now? So I don't know if this is going to be a specific message, but it's definitely with that question. So if I really have decided that I want something different in my life, or you as the viewer, if you have decided that maybe you see that there is something else you want, or that you are looking for, or you want to settle roots somewhere else, or you want to find common ground with people that think more like you or would accommodate you, or something like that. Where or what is then now the next move, right? What is the next move? Maybe you are thinking about like maybe two different things as an alternative to where you are, and you are not quite sure which one to choose from, or which one to choose. So what could be the best move, right? Or the best, I don't know if you're moving, but what could be the best choice or the best action, maybe, in a situation where you may want to change your circumstances or your choices, or your maybe your like maybe something about yourself, like maybe I don't know, let's say you want a new style, you want a new look, you want a new job, you are maybe considering two different options or more. Maybe there are people in your life that you are wondering about. Maybe you are totally clueless, like maybe you really don't know, like it's just like, I know that something is off, but I don't know what else to do, right? I get this like a big question mark, and then this what now, like maybe you find yourself in a dead end situation, like you experience that like I don't know how to fix this, or I get a feeling of like I feel it like a dead situation. That there's no sustenance, or no what's that called? it's like a situation where, let's say you have a friend and you're communicating with this friend and they're communicating back, but there's nothing in it. Like what they're saying is empty somehow, or you can feel that they are not engaged in this, right? You can feel that they are disengaged from it, or not really they are replying, they're replying, but there's nothing in it. Like it's that they are not present or engaged, or it's like having a phone call with someone and you can hear that they are not present in that call, that they are watching television or they're looking at the computer or something. So they're kind of just answering with like, yeah, I don't know. You get these like awkward, and you can feel that they are not really there somehow. And you're asking yourself, what now? It's like, do I confront it? Do I end the call? Or do I leave the living room? Or if this is a relationship, that you are married to someone and this is happening, it's like feeling that you are almost unwanted. Like the things you come and you want to talk to someone. So you come and you want to engage in a conversation. It's like it's just kind of just a bit gray rock. Like it's not reciprocated, right? It's like like they don't want to engage in that conversation with you. Now I hear they don't want to give you anything. Like they don't want to give something back to you. So whether it's a conversation or an agreement, a situation where you had expected someone to, you had expectations, but this other party is not fulfilling them. So if you had expectations of respect and engagement and reciprocity, they are not giving it to you. It's something like that, and therefore it feels empty and stalemate, like some kind of, it may feel even like robotic, right? That you are communicating with a machine or something. They are replying, but they are not engaging. So it feels a little more like out of politeness or something. They are replying, but nothing more. So it's this now what? Or what now? Because I don't know what to say, right? I don't know what to say to make them like communicate or become more. And it could even be this feeling you don't know why, right? You may not know why. You may not know why someone is grey rocking you, or if you don't know that term, look it up, right? But it simply means that someone is not engaging, and that can be deliberately chosen. It is a method that you can use if you are speaking with abusive people, verbally abusive people, like narcissists. It could be the feeling of being the recipient of that, like being the receiver of a grey rock, and like feeling like the void or an emptiness, the feeling of a robotic answer or a non-engaged, non-emotional answer. Yeah, that feeling, I don't know why I get that, but and it could be this feeling, what happened, or now what, right? That how am I supposed to change that, or why is it even here? But it can be any situation, right? I just feel like it's a follow-up question to the new moon reading I made. That if you actually felt, yeah, I want to change my roots. Yes, I want to have something else. Yes, I want to find the right people for me, or I want to find the right job, or I want to find a new relationship, or I want to find out who I am, or whatever. Then I have this question like, okay, but then what? Now what? Let me see if there's something else here that yeah, I have a feeling of a little sadness, like not a big one, a little one, still a little one, still a little bit lingering, that something you feel like you may say goodbye to. There's still a little bit. I don't know if it's because I just mentioned this situation where you're saying something and you would like to engage with someone, and what you get is very, not necessarily cold or harsh, it's just gray, right? It's just this, yeah, dead feeling. There's a dead feeling to it, or a ghosted kind of feeling to it. So you get a reply, but it could have been, machine generated. It's that feeling. And maybe you're realizing, I have to let that go. I'm no longer engaging with that person or this thing, this stuff. Maybe it's work, I don't know. But the point is that by leaving, it's like there's still this feeling of, I get a little one, like just a little one, that I'm sad that it's not working, right? I'm sad that we can't have this conversation. I'm sad that you have closed down totally. I'm sad that we somehow can't see eye to eye, or I had hoped and expected more, right? I had hoped and expected that we could have this, but we can't seem to have it. Yeah, okay, and then this, so now what? If maybe you have put a lot of energy into this and really tried and tried and tried, and you've tried every kind of angle, and it just seems like you get the same result. Now I don't know if I have Aquarius here, because in the Aquarius reading I had this feeling like that someone had tried many doors or had to try many ways, and it all seemed the same, like the result of many attempts or something seemed the same. Nothing stood out. It was the same experience with many attempts. It's that kind of feeling that someone has tried many, maybe different angles to something, and it's the same result. It's the same feeling you sit with. It's the same, eventually, like giving up, right? Eventually giving up on something. And there's this, I don't think it's a new situation. This is not something you have just discovered. It has been there for a while. And I feel like it's coming to the conclusion that, okay, I just have to let this be, and withdraw myself, because out of a situation, perhaps because it's damaging you. It's hurting you. Every time it hurts you, I feel like clearly something doesn't want to open. And there's this sadness to it. I feel a little one. I think it has been bigger once. Once it was very big. Now I feel like it's less and less and less. And maybe that's now the new moon. Here it could be a family member, right? That you just know that, but I've tried in so many ways and it's just not working out. So I'm withdrawing myself from this situation, but there's still a little, I'm sad that it's supposed to be like this, right? After maybe being quite devoted to something. It could be a divorce situation. Okay, let's see. Is there something else here? So, the little feeling of sadness, but also a determination that, because again, I think it's not a new situation. You have looked at this many times before, I think. Again, you've made all these attempts from different angles to somehow tune in on something, and it just doesn't seem to open. It doesn't want to open. It doesn't want to let you in. It doesn't want to give you anything. It doesn't want to engage with you. And yeah, there's a kind of sadness to it. Okay, let's have a look at these cards here. So there's this, again, this now what? If I can't, let's say if I can't make this work, and maybe I have put quite a lot of, I've put a lot of attention into this. Now what? If I'm withdrawing my attention from this, where do I put it then? What am I supposed to do now? Let's say this is a marriage, a 30-year long marriage that you are disengaging from. And you find yourself standing there alone after 30 years of being engaged in something that now seemingly doesn't want to engage back. What am I supposed to do now? That feeling, right? Okay. So I just turn the cards here for you. Maybe see them a little bit better. So I hope you can see them here. Maybe I should do like this maybe. Is that better for you? There is something here about, well, it doesn't matter. You heard me just say, maybe I should do like this. Is that better for you, right? This idea of adjusting something so that someone else could actually feel that it would be more comfortable for someone else, or it would be easier for someone else to see the cards, something like that. Maybe you are considering that attempt, that maybe I should be a little more accommodating with someone, or I wish them to be more accommodating with me. I don't know which side you are on, right? I just had that feeling of someone is feeling that what they are trying, they are reaching a wall. So they are trying to get a message through or a communication or something, and they reach a wall. And that wall is kind of just blocked. Nothing. Yeah, maybe they are replying, or you seemingly you can't get through, right? What you're getting is just this, machine like machine created, I don't know, reply, or it feels like that. Very something that doesn't really care about whatever feelings you may have involved in this, or whatever. It's it feels machine like, gray rock like, something like that. Okay, the first card out here is card number 42. It's called the Rainmaker. So when I look at her, I think it's a her or a him. But anyway, when I look at this person, to me they seem angry, frustrated. The Rainmaker to me can also talk about someone who can make rain, right? They have an ability to summon water. They have an ability maybe to create tears. Make someone else unhappy. Rainmaker in old days was someone who was very important, because if there was a dry summer, if someone couldn't summon the rain, we wouldn't have a better harvest, right? All the crops could die, and we would not be able to survive if we didn't have someone who could do the impossible, you would say, who could the most hot summer and cloudless sky could be changed into a wilderness of clouds and many raindrops, right? Thunder even, someone who can do that could seem a little bit like a miraculous thing, like they could do something impossible. Water is associated with our emotions, with the water balance in our body, with emotions, feelings, sensitivities. The rainmaker for me can be someone who is like water is their element, right? They are very much aware what makes rain, right? What makes calm water and what makes tumultuous water. So I feel like this is their terrain, right? It could be a water sign here. So the rainmaker, what are they doing? Are they doing something to deliberately hurt you if they are grey rocking you? Or are they doing something else, right? Because sometimes if people withdraw from a conversation, if people or contact even, if you're not in the room with this person, if this is a telephone call or something, they are showing you something, right? They're showing you that either the conversation is not very interesting for them, therefore they are kind of not replying. Maybe they don't know anything about the subject, they don't know how to reply, or they are just really not interested in the conversation with you, not interested in you as a person. Like that could be, but out of politeness they are replying, but it's not really how they feel. So by being silent or not replying much, they are showing you something here. Maybe it gives you tears, like maybe you become very sad and upset and frustrated here. I still want to say, if that's the case, you're reacting to the grey rock, right? You're reacting to the method that is used towards you. And you may also ask yourself, why am I choosing to communicate with something that is treating me like that, right? Why am I choosing that? Why am I still doing it? Why am I doing it still after 30 years? Maybe what they are showing you is actually they are really not interested. They don't care. So why do you keep caring, right? Why do you keep caring if something doesn't care about you or is choosing to reply and only engage in you sporadically or very superficially? somehow I feel like they are pushing you away. So why do you keep engaging? Right? It's I feel like they're showing you something here. Why do you keep engaging here if something doesn't want to engage with you? Is it because you want to have it your way? That you want to convince them that they must care for you, or that they ought to, that they're obligated to, or something? And if so, why do you feel that? It's easy to become angry with another person if they're not engaging and we would like them to. It may be because we feel entitled to, like we feel entitled that they should do this. They ought to, they're obligated to. But if they're not doing it, either it's because they are very, like they stand very true with themselves, like they are not budging, right? They want to stand their ground. So maybe we are actually talking, because I have the star over here and I mentioned Aquarius already. The star is Aquarius energy here. Aquarius is fixed sign. So it's quite stubborn and stoic. It's not necessarily giving in. We may have a water sign here as well, or not as well, but we may have a water sign here. My best guess could be a Scorpio here, fixed masculine water sign. If these two come together here, they could butt heads, right? That would be like a fist fight like that. It's like they would both be so fixed in their own energy that they expect the other to fold or to fawn. And I'm not sure that this is what is happening. Like it's the star here. A dream come true, believe in yourself, the end of a difficult situation. So someone may be choosing to end something. They may be choosing to do something differently, right? They may end to follow their own heart here, perhaps. Go their own way. Fourth chakra is heart chakra here. Maybe they want to go somewhere else where there is a heart connection, right? Because I feel like this could be an angry person, right? They are frustrated with something here. And I feel someone over here is actually just standing their ground. Over here, we may have someone who is insisting on a heart connection. They are insisting on like caring connections. This could be where they come from, like they come from a heart-based place. They want reciprocity. They want respect. They want like maybe equality, that there's no one who is more in charge than someone else. They want a caring connection. Right? They want that whatever they are engaging in, there must be a heart connection here. They're not engaging if you somehow are, 1 minute you are open and willing to listen to them, and the next minute you are not. And they could have withdrawn their energy here, right? They could have, I don't know which one is which here, but because I get an angry energy here, and this can be the one who is grey rocking. So they are keeping to themselves, they are not engaging, they say no. It could be also that this is what, when you are engaging with someone who is using a grey rock method, this is what you feel, right? You feel, why are you like that, right? It's frustrating me that you are not engaging. But I feel like what is happening is that, and we have alignment here, down here. Alignment is, what I feel is like someone is frustrated here if they should align with something over here. I feel like these two are butting heads here. Could be an Aquarius, two fixed signs, I want to say, fixed sign or a fixed or cardinal sign here. Because fixed signs, they're quite stubborn. And if we have two of them, none of them are actually botching, really. Not really. Here we have the Rainmaker, and I feel like tumultuous water here, like anger. That there's anger or rage here. Or someone is trying to build a tsunami here, right? Like they are building and building and building water so much that it becomes so destructive here, right? That it could have a destructive impact. But Aquarius is very clever, very intelligent, and so therefore we have two elements here, air and water, and depending on how you yield these energies here, if these two are fixed signs, I would say they are botching heads here. Or they are botching, maybe not heads, but energy. Like their energy feels, whenever they are near each other, it's like they repel, right? Like they are not opposite poles. Opposite poles are attracted to each other. Like a north and south, right? Plus and minus. Here we have 2 plus or 2 minus. And every time they kind of come close to each other, it's like they bounce off because they can't really be in each other's atmosphere here. If someone would be willing to become if these two are pluses, if someone would be a minus, it would be better, right? Then they could find some kind of connection here. But because they are not, none of them are botching here, I feel like. One is asking for heart connection here. And one is standing with this question here, because it says alignment. Do you want to align with something here that is more heart-based? Willing to be vulnerable? Willing to be raw? Willing to love passionately? Willing to, depending on your situation, willing to also negotiate, willing to be open. And I just have a feeling of someone here really maybe feeling that this is what is required, that someone here is standing their ground. They say, but this is what I want. I want us to be able to connect in the heart center. I want us to be able to have a vulnerable connection with each other. This is what I want, right? And here we have someone who is frustrated with maybe feeling that it's invading your privacy or your private space, or maybe there is a rage or an anger here that something is, it keeps wanting something from you. It keeps wanting something from you, and you're just not, maybe you're kind of fed up with it, or you're wondering if you want to align with it, if you want to open, because if you want to open and try to connect with it, you have to be different, perhaps. Someone here is not budging. I feel like they are. It says, a dream come true, believe in yourself, the end of a difficult situation. Someone is maybe also willing to walk away here, out of self-care and self-love, right? Because they can't stay in a situation where someone is not wanting to align with them. So they are willing to walk away here, I think. And someone here may be very frustrated because of that. The demandment is that align with me, right? Someone could be frustrated or fearful here, like it may awaken some kind of fear in you. Defense mechanism, right? And you may, because it may feel invasive, like it invades my private space. What you're asking for is too much for me. But I think whatever is here is willing to walk away, and therefore you are considering it. But it pushes up a lot of feelings here. I want to look at the book because I think I'm reading this card a little bit out of what the book would say. But it's because of the situation. I felt very strongly like, now what, right? That someone would be willing to walk away. I think they've made up their mind that if this is how we are supposed to continue, I'm not sure I want that. I want more. I want something that is loving and caring, respectful, something that is valuing me, right? That we are supposed to be equally valued. And again, it's so interesting because over here she's standing very peacefully and very quietly, very collected actually. Pouring out these two equally amounts of water here. She stands her ground on this, like it's supposed to be equal, I feel like. Equal give and take. And she's quite calm here. And over here I get this tumultuous tsunami feeling, right? That someone is very angry and frustrated, and because they may want, well, Scorpio does have a tendency of maybe wanting to control or domineer a situation, and kind of being on top, being very vulnerable is very scary for a Scorpio. And it's because the passion is extremely deep here. So I feel like it's actually two cores. Like the core here and the core here are butting heads, I feel like. Their verbal communication, or their verbal communication, their it's not I don't think it's very friendly actually. I think one would engage in some kind of, like a conversation with a lot of words and a lot of emotions, a lot of passion. And over here we just have silence. Like, if this is the way you want to engage with me, it could be someone yelling here actually. Yelling, trying to control and domineer a situation here, frustrated, right? And it's over here, we just have this, but this, if this is how you want to communicate with me, I'm leaving the room, right? Because there's nothing loving and caring in what you're doing. So what they are asking for is for you to temper yourself and have respect for them, having respect for their person, who they are. They want something equally valued here. This is what they stand for. They are quite calm and collected, and over here we have someone who is angry, I feel like, and kind of frustrated, and someone is, I feel like they could turn their back and just walk away. And over here someone may feel very frustrated because for them to have contact here, they need to align themselves with this other person. And maybe they don't want to, like they want to stay where they are. And this is where I feel like we have these botching heads, like two willpowers are struggling here somehow. That's what I feel like. So the Rainmaker here, in the book it says the Rainmaker is the master of manifestation, who can call on the elements of nature to serve the greater good. When the power to co-create is used with integrity, great beauty and benefit flow to all. When the power to co-create is used with integrity, great beauty and benefit flow to all. When this power is used for personal gain only, everyone suffers. That's what I feel like. This is what I feel like. Whoever is standing here, they would probably try to use their power, their manifestation power, for personal gain. So they want to have control, or they want to be in charge, or they want to have the last say. They want to have their will done, and therefore someone is reacting here. They are simply, I feel like turning their back, walking away, or something like that. If you have a phone call with them, you just put you just turn the call off. And it's frustrating. This one is getting very frustrated by it, right? When the earth is parched, the Rainmaker calls the water from the heavens, and all that is dormant in the fields and in people's hearts spring to life again. That's the quality that the Rainmaker has. It has a lot of healing power if they use this energy to co-create with something else. Co-create, not domineer, right? Co-create. That's what they're asking for over here. Co-create with me in a loving, caring manner with respect for each other. We are equally important here. But if you're not treating me like that, I walk away from you, right? And someone is feeling this. When the power to co-create is used with integrity. So the integrity to co-create with respect, right? Then great beauty and benefit will flow to all. The Rainmaker is calling you to create something new from the element that is already in your life. Be sure you work with what is and not with what might be or could have been. The seeds that have been silently germinating in your heart will burst forth ready for the sunlight. Do not hold back. Put all your chips on the next roll of the divine dice. So there is seemingly something about, I want to say authenticity. Who are you really? Like, are you driven by ego and personal gain, or are you driven by DNA, your innate being? Something here wants to co-create with you. It's based in love. It could be, we have the star here, it could be, like psychic gifts or something here. But it has to come from a pure heart, right? It has to come from an authenticity in you to co-create with the universe, you would say. Co-create with the universe. If you want to co-create with the universe, do it from a place of love and care. And I feel someone is very frustrated here because they have to align with this energy, and that alignment gives them frustration. I feel anger here. Like, I'm trying to do everything I can. I'm trying to really but it's not happening, or I'm not getting what I want. I'm not getting what I want. But if you're co-creating with the universe, you may need to understand that it's not necessarily what you want. It should be what both of you want. Co-creation is that both of you have the same say. So it's not just about your personal desires here and what you want. At least not with this. Then you must co-create with something else. If you want to co-create with the divine, with the universe here, you have to hear them out. You have to listen to what it is that they are requesting of you here. And aligning with this may feel frustrating. Recognize how you are co-creating your world. Nothing is happening out there without your involvement. Remember that the world is only mirroring back to you the conditions of your love and your intent. So change these within before you take any action. Do not take life personally. And I think someone is here. If something happens in your world where you feel rejected, you take it personally. But maybe you are also rejecting someone else. Like if someone is walking away here, ghosting you, not listening to you, maybe it's because that you are not listening. You are not listening to them, right? You are not listening to them. If you're not listening to them, why should they listen to you? Right? That's what I feel like. Why should they listen to you if you're not listening to them? So if you want to engage, you want their full attention. But if they want to engage with you, you don't want to give them anything. You see, it's like, it doesn't work like that. If not, at least if you want to co-create. Otherwise, you're solo creating, right? You're solo creating with anyone else, not with or alone. But if you want to co-create with something, you must listen to them. And they must listen to you. But I feel like with the heart here, that it's like someone here is, I feel like they want to stand their ground. Like they don't want to budge, that they are insisting on equality. They are insisting on being heard, being understood, being listened to, being valued, being respected and accepted. they stand here and they are pouring two, like, I don't know if you can see that, but they are pouring two, they are standing and showing that I'm willing to, like, I'm willing to go for equal give and take, right? I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to pour from my left and right hand here, right? And slowly and calmly doing this, where you are making a thunder here. You're making a thunderstorm. So somehow we are not the same here, right? We can't seem to, the alignment here, the alignment card, there is a question here, like, or there is a wish, I feel like, that, as I said, someone has been trying to come in maybe with generous things here, like generous, like offerings or something. And there is this grave rocking thing happening maybe over here, that when I want to come in with something for you, you're not listening to me. You don't want to listen. You don't want to engage with me. You don't want to be open. You're not accepting me. But if you, on the other hand, come to me, you expect me to have open arms and just sit and listen and be having a loving, caring heart, and I'm just not doing. It feels a little bit like they are. And if this one is silent, I want to say, it's probably because you're supposed to understand something here. They're asking for alignment, and this alignment, I feel like you're frustrated. It makes you angry that you should align. This one over here is angry about the alignment. The alignment says that if we are supposed to come together, it's like both of us has to give something, right? Both of us has to like be open, and someone here, I feel like maybe they don't want to. They're frustrated about the idea that they should give something at all. Like why should they align? I don't think they get it. They don't understand why. Okay, let's have some cards out here. Now I'm taking the driver's underlying energy here. So the underlying energy is a card of, well, I call it drivers. And it's because it's something that, like, from deep down within you is causing a stir and wants to come to the surface, to be healed, to be looked at, to be reviewed, to be maybe changed or something here. Somehow I get the feeling of two different people here, or two different friends. Maybe it's love situation, maybe it's like opposite poles. If you believe in twin flame energy, it could be something like that as well, that we have one here and we have another here. Maybe we have a feminine here and we have a masculine here. It's mostly because she comes up as feminine here, and this one actually for me comes up more like masculine. I'm not quite sure here. But it doesn't really matter. We both have yin and yang energy in us. It can be, again, it depends on what you are activating. If you are standing primarily in your masculine energy, this is maybe sometimes how you feel. And when you tap into your feelings, you may feel like this, right? So it can be, this can actually be an inner thing. Like you have both, you have a yin and a yang in you, and they may be like really struggling to get along here. What we are experiencing on the inside usually manifests on the outside. So you may have a person also in your life that you are really butting heads with here. Okay, so the driver for the Rainmaker here is the Sorcerer. So these very strong feelings here, because they are very powerful, and as I said, a Rainmaker can be a miracle maker in some sense. Like they can really make a difference. The water can make a difference during a very dry summer season. And it can, the sun can destroy the crops totally. So the Rainmaker can literally be a miracle worker here, right? There is a Sorcerer here that is actually inside you, and maybe you don't know exactly how much. You may just feel that something is really stirring at you. For now, you are needing to align some very strong emotions here. The Sorcerer, if I see this card correctly, it's I would see this a little bit like the Magician in tarot. The Magician has the ability to use all 4 elements. And that means that they can literally be a miracle worker, right? They can work with all elements. This is the driver in you. For now, you may really be working with the water to be able to master the water. So this is emotional, but again, to master it with integrity here. But the driver forward is that you have this in you. You have this in you. And for now, you are aligning with the water. So you may experience some very, very strong emotions here. Maybe a lot of frustration, tears, but it could be tears of bitterness and hate and rage and like so much tumultuous water here. Stubbornness and pride and revenge feelings here. I get tsunami feeling here, like really, really very difficult to handle actually here. So you are learning for now. You are aligning with the water energy here, and while you are doing that, you are butting head with something. You're butting head. This could feel a little bit like that someone here, when the way they do their stuff here, it feels so like they are rejecting you, right? They reject you here. And if this is someone you actually love, that you have very strong connection with, it's so frustrating, right? It's so there's so much rejection feeling or bitterness here, and like I've wasted my energy. Who the hell do you think you are? You cannot just reject me, right? There's something like that. But they're standing their ground here, and they don't want to deal with this drama. Like they don't want to deal with someone who cannot handle their emotions. Like if this is, like a bully tendency, screaming, yelling, throwing things, threatening, um, abusive, verbally abusive, and so on. I want to say it comes from a deep space, but this one over here doesn't want it. Like they don't want to be like the receiver of that. They don't want to be the receiver of this. So they're asking you to somehow manage this better. It could be a little bit like temper management. Like they're asking you to temper your outbreaks, your emotional outbreaks, or something like that. And they are showing you this as a mirror, because deep down what you want is to, you are on a journey here to wholeness, right? You are a journey towards becoming this one. And he has all 4 elements and he can handle all of them. So he is quite powerful. So what you're standing in front of someone who is not budging here. And they keep standing like this because they actually are helping you to bring this forward. Because they're forcing you to look at something here. They're forcing you to look at something. If you cannot master your emotions here, you can never become this one. Because whatever you're manifesting here, you're manifesting it not out of integrity. You are manifesting out of dysfunction. Dysfunctional water element here. Rage, hate, bitterness. And the reason why this is not with integrity is because you feel personally rejected. Personally, you take it personally here. Where I feel like over here we have someone, it's not necessarily personally. They would reject anyone who cannot do this. So it's not necessarily personally. This is something about their boundaries. Right? Their boundary is that if you cannot treat me with love, respect, care, equal understanding, equal importance, if you would attack me somehow, I would reject you. I would walk away from you. But it has not necessarily anything to do with you personally. It's simply the behavior. The behavior is out of alignment for me, so I cannot deal with you. I don't want to deal with you and your emotional shit. This is your own business. If you become reactive, if you react and become frustrated and bitter, you have to figure out why you become frustrated and bitter. For me, setting up a boundary. Why do you become that frustrated and bitter, and why do you want to control me or attack me or something? That is your shit, not mine. It's your shit here. And you have to master it. You have to figure it out. This is what they are asking of you. You have to align yourself with your highest potential here. That's actually what they are doing. They want you to become your highest potential. So for now, they are rejecting you because you are not acting out of highest potential. They want to see you heal here. So over here we have someone who is now stating their boundaries. I don't know if they have done it always, but they have definitely reached some kind of awareness. The star energy here is like the true north. This is something about their true integrity. This is also someone who is reaching integrity. And one of the reasons how they now become maybe more aligned, is because at some point maybe they were not. Maybe they formed. Maybe they gave in. Now they're putting up a boundary. You become frustrated about it. But actually they move towards their true north here, the star. This is who they are. They become more and more aligned with their integrity here. They put up boundaries. They say no. They speak from a very particular place. They're asking something particular here. And now they are not budging. They stand their ground here. We have 7 of Ariel over here as a driver. You have invested wisely. Have patience and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. So whatever they have done here, the driver says this is correct. You are on the right track towards their integrity. Right? As maybe as a woman or as a man, they are on their right track here towards integrity. Their integrity. Not yours, their integrity. And they are based in this. This is what they're asking. It says here, rest and rejuvenate. So it seems like whatever they have been doing, they have withdrawn their energy and they are resting and rejuvenating their heart now. They are healing. They are moving in their own direction of integrity. The rejection they are giving you, or the gray rock or whatever, this is because they are on their own journey. They have chosen their own journey here and committing themselves here. They are resting and rejuvenating, overcoming something, healing here. So they may have withdrawn their energy and you may feel frustrated about it, but they are calling for you to do the same. They're calling for you to do the same. So if you're asking, so what now what, and you're standing over here, you have to ask yourself, do you want to heal? Do you want to become this one? Then we read about the sorcerer here. And what kind of sorcerer, right? Again, we have great manifestation powers here, but what kind of sorcerer are you? You have to ask yourself that. It says here, this is the source of dark power. The sorcerer represents the destructive aspect of the human psyche and the self-centered behavior that harms others. It symbolizes the unconscious beliefs and ideas that foster separation, conflict, and scarcity. And I felt that, like the anger and this feeling of wanting to control, right? Domineer and control and have personal gain. A self-centeredness, it can harm others. And maybe that's why this one is withdrawing now, right? They say no, I'm not accepting that. So you have this in you. It's in you. I'm not saying it's bad. It's a polarity. Some would say it's bad. I just say it is. It exists. We can have good if we don't have bad. Not in the third dimension. Duality is everywhere. So we can have self-centeredness and self-sacrifice. You know, like we can have these two polarities. And therefore this one is here, right? So maybe you have been standing a lot in this energy here. When the sorcerer enters your cycle, you are being called to look at how your beliefs around scarcity and self-centered fears manifest in your world. Examine the destructive part of your psyche that misuses power or harbors feelings of resentment, vengeance, lust, greed, bigotry, or hatred. Um, perhaps you've harmed someone because of these dark tendencies, right? If so, all is not lost. You have only forgotten that all beings are interconnected and the universe is abundant. The sorcerer arrives to challenge you to change your thinking, align with something else. You are given a second chance. Correct your course and practice not blaming others for the darkness that lives inside you, right? Make peace with it and choose another way. That's the invitation. That's what they are doing. They're redrawing, grey rocking you, silence, ghosting you, or whatever. It's because there's something here that you are harboring at this time, but you are given a second chance to align with something else. Whether you do it or not, I don't know, but it's the road to wholeness. It's something that can heal your heart. Have you been feeling out of sorts because you've been faced with your own character flaws and the pain that you inflict on others when you are out of alignment here? Radical self-acceptance is called for now. You must reconcile these darker aspects of your nature, so you don't behave irresponsibly and cause more harm to yourself and the ones you love. It's time to come out of denial and accept responsibility for your words and deeds. When you meet this energy of the sorcerer with humility, this destructive power transforms into grace, which you can use in service to the highest good. Perhaps it's time to make amends. Do it. It will set you free from the shadows and let you step into the light. That is exactly what I'm talking about here. You do have this in you, but I see underneath here we have the journey to wholeness. The reason why this is a dark sorcerer is because at some point it was hurt. At some point it was hurt and misunderstood and not given attention, not liked. Maybe it was unwanted, right? The temper tantrums here, or the getting the rage, the losing control, the tsunami that it creates, the yelling or whatever this is, the abuse here, whatever it is, it's just, or it's a reaction, right? It's a reaction, and you feel it when you get rejected here. It comes to the surface when you get rejected, because this one was rejected once. So what do you need to, what now? Yeah, what I would say is that you have to somehow find a way to change all this rage here. Because someone did something out here, you have a reaction to it. Instead of reacting to them, you now look at yourself here. You look at this one. If this is like your inner child, right? This is a power manifester, but become very much aware of how it's manifesting. Is it just manifesting new trouble, new rejections here, new rejections? This one needs acceptance, right? The first one who can give this one acceptance is yourself. So all the temper you use here on others, you should use all this rain here on yourself. That's the alignment. Use it on yourself to heal this one. Give them acceptance. Understand them. That they are tempered and they are out of rage and sad and bitterness and everything, because someone rejected them once. And every time you feel rejection from someone else, it triggers you, right? This can be a little bit sadness and disagreement in you, but it can grow to like a tsunami of rage, like depending on who this is over here. They are insisting on a loving connection, and that you need to have that loving connection with yourself, right? They are asking you to do that. They want you to do that, I think. They would happily work with you if you somehow figure this out. They would happily be there for you. They would open their arms to you. They would do that. But not if you are wanting to control them, have personal gain. So then now what I feel is, over here I feel like they have taken a stance. They have withdrawn, they are resting and rejuvenating, they're healing here. They're aligning with something more loving, light-based. And they know deep down that they have invested wisely. It's the right thing to do. They are tuning more and more into their own integrity here. And they are actually mirroring to you that you should do the same. You can do the same. Not their integrity, but your own. Your integrity. Actually, what I feel like they're showing you is that you are more than this. They know that you are more than this. They may still have hope, right? They may still have hope that you can work together, that you could co-create. But they are asking you to step up your game. They cannot work with you if you work from like this space here. They may be drawn to you, like they may still have a passion or are drawn to you, but they cannot have a heart connection. Again, as I said in the beginning, I had this feeling that it's like you were communicating with a robot. Like there's nothing of sustenance, nothing kind. There's nothing kind here. Like, right, it feels gray, dead. It's not alive, right? It feels gray and dead somehow. And it frustrates you, right? If it's gray and dead, it frustrates you. But it's frustrating them as well, right? I don't know if I have twin flame energy here, but I definitely have yin and yang here. I definitely have like opposites, or maybe they're not opposites. As I said, it could be plus plus, like they are plus plus, or someone may have been minus at some point, but it was fake, like it was not real. It was something they had learned to be, but now they're getting more and more of their own integrity back. And now it's like you're butting heads, right? Like now it seems like you can't find common ground. I think this one is healing. They have kind of withdrawn their energy to maybe a different space, or, like they are not, again, they are replying, they could be replying, as I say, they could be just out of courtesy or something. They do that, but they are actually not engaging. They're not engaging. I feel like they're actually kind of just staying to, like, keeping to themselves, not engaging with you, and it kind of frustrates you, I think. Over here, it's yeah, it can go from a sadness to an explosive thunderstorm here, right? It could even be that they are not even replying over here. That if you're sending them or trying to call them, they're not replying. Um, it could be a ghosted situation where it's like they are there. You know they are there, but it's like they are not there. Um, can I have a card on the sorcerer, please? Here, awakened awareness. I think you know. Awakened awareness here means that someone sees, maybe you know this, right? You know this about yourself. You know this about yourself. You know that you do have a temper, or that for most of the time you go into the scorpionic place of vengeance, grief, lust, addiction, maybe. That this is you. You do know this, I think. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a person like this show up in your life. They wouldn't come in like that. Because you are in an alignment process. You are trying to heal deep down. Maybe you're not aware, but your subconscious is working on this. It's trying to align you so that you can somehow master this. And you need something to come in and trigger this. Otherwise, you can't align. If someone is never triggering you, you stay in your comfort zone all the time. You need something to come in and trigger you, otherwise you can't heal. And you know this, I think. Awakened awareness is that you're becoming more and more aware about this guy here. More and more in you understands that. And actually I feel like, because if you do have these triggering rageful feelings or revengeful feelings, when they come to the surface here, I really feel like it's tough on you. Like it hurts you. It really hurts you here. It pushes you to feel feelings that are really tough on you, right? It's tough on you, and I also feel like when you somehow, after some kind of outbreak, you find a little more balance. You look back at it and you see how destructive it is for you, right? That you see how out of balance you get. It's almost like you're not there, like you have no control. You get out of control, right? And I feel like whoever this person is, they are really triggering you in this area of I feel like they wanna operate out of trust and love and care, and it's like you're not ready for that. Like it's because this one has been hurt, but you're becoming more and more aware of some of the things that is going on here. You see again and again maybe how this is triggered and how you get out of control, or you feel immensely reactive. This is also, we become very angry of the outside world of a person here, perhaps. But it has nothing to do with them. It has something to do with you. Like, why does something like this have power over you? To make you feel like that, to get you so much out of balance. Why do you allow something like this to have that influence on you? How can it have so much power over you? And that's what they are asking you, to get that power back so that you are in control, right? You should be in control here of your emotions. They are just a mirror. Like they have done nothing wrong. They just they just stand their ground here. They have done nothing wrong. But you become angry. Why do you become angry? Because they are supposed to do what I say. Why are they supposed to do what you say? Is it because you think you own them, that you can dictate them what to do, or they are their own person here? You just have to go deeper and figure this out. And you may not like what you find, right? You may not like. You became more and more acquainted with this one. This one wants to own. Be in charge. And if someone is not bowing to that, that's why you want vengeance, or that's why you want to control it, or domineer it, or devour it. I have strong Scorpio feeling here. And Scorpio is the opposite sign of Taurus. And I just made the new moon reading in Taurus, in the sign of Taurus. So this can be a polarity energy that is here to... It's here to show itself, because when someone wants to manifest a new beginning, for instance, let's say this one is the one that wants to manifest a new beginning, and they become silent. They simply just retreat from a situation here. They're not engaging over here. I would say here we have drama, and here it seems more like a more peaceful, like I want to stand in love here, and light, and peace, and calm. Serenity. I want to stand here. This is what I want, right? Or this is what I represent. I don't want to be part of this. You have a polarity here. Scorpio is about, at least in tarot, it's known as the death card. Death, transformation, rebirth. So someone is feeling this polarity right now and is being mirrored something. Where someone is standing their ground here. And you want to stand your ground also, but I feel like deep down, you know, like that you actually could be hurting people here. I think you know. This sorcerer knows about his own tendencies. And I'm not saying that you shall or must change it. You're given a chance, you're given a second chance, you're given a choice. That's what this situation is about. It's a choice. What do you want? Do you want to stay here? You can do that. You will have more of this temper thing going on. You will be rejected again. And you will be angry about the world. You will not have this healing. It's here to show you that you can have a second chance, but the second chance is requiring something of you. It's even that you could have a second chance with this person maybe, but it requires something of you. They don't want to be hurt by you. That's understandable, I think, why they don't want that. And again, if this is an inner process, you have something that wants to go in one direction and you have something else in you that wants to go in another direction, that still wants to have control. That could be the ego part of you here, that wants to be in control. And something wants to be open. So you're going through some kind of alignment here. Can we have a card on the star, please? Who is that? Who are they? So I get the Time Master here. Time Master, an interesting card, because the Time Master well, first of all, the Time Master, so what do I feel about this card? Well, it talks, well, at least I see it a little bit like if you are a time master, you must master time. And what is time then? Time could be age. That over here, what we are talking about here is age. That what someone is confronted with here is aging. And that aging is, I've talked a little bit about this in other readings, that when you get to that time of life where you have lived a life, you have gotten to your 70s or 80s or even 90s, and age is here. Age is, or Pisces energy for me is, you have come to this stage where you are aligning more and more with the soul return to the Creator. But you may not like it, right? The ego part in you may not like it. It's resisting it, right? You may have some very sad or even repulsive feelings about aging. That whatever this is, it's something that is calling you due to time. It's time, right? It's time to rest more. It's time to align more with Creator energy. Stepping out of the ego, and this is acceptance, right? The acceptance of that life has moved on, life has kind of, you have lived your life and it's time, right? It's time to slow down. It's time to align more with the Creator, with a more spiritual side, a more religious side of you. But something in you is maybe fighting it, not wanting to accept it, still wanting to be healthy, still wanting to be like I'm still strong. I'm still like the time. I see it a little bit like that. This over here is something that maybe you're trying to reject it, right? But it's trying to come in, like it's trying to come in, or we can do it the other way around. It's trying to come in here in your life, but you are rejecting it, right? You could be the one who says, no, get out of my sight. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have anything to do with it. It could be that this is just an element of it's time to embrace something new in your life. But that requires a totally different lifestyle, perhaps. And it's trying to come in here, but maybe you have rejected, someone over here has rejected it, right? Because it's expecting something else of itself. It wants to do something else. But a time master must master time. So there's something that has to do with time. The time element for me exists in the third dimension. The third dimension is filled up with duality, life and death, and up and down, and good and bad, and thick and thin, and hero and villain, right? It's filled with that. Life and death exists, and mortality also exists in the third dimension. And in the third dimension we have time, linear time. So, or linear time understanding, at least, we have in the third dimension. So whatever this is something that corresponds with the third dimension, I think. It corresponds with the third dimension. And I just wanted to take the book to read about the Time Master, and it has actually it fell to the floor just a few minutes ago. I don't know if you could hear it in the video. Kind of like I wanna shove it aside, put it behind the closet, so I'm not reminded of it. Right? I get the feeling of someone slowly, maybe, but surely realizing that time is here, age is here, and how they have been treating people in their life. It could be that awareness. And you have a second chance to make amends before you die, perhaps here. Or before something in you dies. Or you have to give this up. You are given a possibility to... it's like it's time, whether, I don't know if it's aging, that will not be for all of you, right? But I get the feeling that also with the new moon in Taurus, that Taurus is about value. It can be about money, but maybe also seeing the value in someone else here. Right? That it's not necessarily all about you. It could be about them also. That they have their own value. They have their own integrity here. and that's quite all right. And maybe it's time to see that. The Time Master could also talk about someone is old enough here, like if this is a child, right? And you wanted them to comply here. You wanted them to do your way. Maybe it's time now to see that they are way too old, right? You can't force, like invade them or control them or something. It's time to let them go. It's time to let them live their own life. It's time to let them be their own person. They could also have decided that it's time. It's time for me to leave the nest, right? To move out of the home. It's time for me to do my own thing. Your influence, I don't know, no longer want it. I'm an adult now. I want to live my own life. I want to have my own boundaries. Every time you try to come in with something, I really don't want it. It's unrequited advice. I really don't want it. Or unsolicited advice. I'm not interested in it. Right? It's time somehow. Time is a construct of the human mind through which life events are seen to flow in a straight line from past to future. This, however, is an illusion. Time moves in patterns, fractals, sometimes turning like a wheel, and others moving straight as an arrow. Humans see time like a ticking clock, and this image reminds us that there is only so much of it to spend in a life. Like a kind of currency. At any given moment, you can see time in all its infinite potential as one at once vast and all-encompassing, then shrunken and finite. It all depends on perspective. When the Time Master visits you, he asks a most important question. Will you break free from limited cause and effect thinking by moving beyond the linear illusion and welcoming the cyclic quality of time? You find yourself in a moment when the wheel of time turns and you are able to influence the past, thus changing the present and future simultaneously. This is the true test of the Time Master. You are being invited to take back your power and let go of the past and choose to step into your life. In this moment, you are all powerful. You are the Time Master. Anything is possible now. Sometimes it appears that you are running out of time. You worry you won't get what you need or want. Everything gets stuck like a logjam. This is only in your mind. Time expands and contracts according to your ability to be mindful and observant, fully engaged in your now. It's time to release the story of your past. Equally, it's time to release your needs to know the details of the future and an outcome. All the treasure magically reveals itself when you remain relaxed and present to what is directly in front of you and nothing else. Then you realize you have all the time in the world. You will never run out of it. So I asked what is the star card here, and I get the Time Master. So whoever or whatever is here, it's something that operates not in the 3D, I feel like. It has somehow changed, maybe, and is now operating more of in a 5D element, the quantum field, where we have this more cyclic understanding of time. So they have the ability to tune into different time aspects, and they're not seeing it as gone forever and unchangeable. Where over here I feel like someone is still seeing life in a third dimensional energy, and where we have life and death, and everything is linear. they operate in a different way. And this is also one of the clinching things here, like you can't seem to find common ground. They see the world out of one prospect and with certain possibilities, and over here we see something much more linked to the third dimensional energy. So what they are doing here is that they are working, or they are aligning themselves with something very different here. At least I want to say they're open to it, like they are open to this understanding. They see the difference. They see the difference. Maybe whatever this is a spiritual thing. Maybe this is a guide that wants to work with you, right? But maybe you have to overcome certain fears here to align with it, right? And that's what it's asking of you. It can't come in unless you align with it. And you master perhaps your triggers here. If this is not a person but a being, a presence or something, I want to say it comes from the light here. It comes from love. I feel a little more like a person though, like it could be someone in your life here. But it could be someone who is very into spirituality, right? And they are mirroring that to you. As I said with the Time Master, maybe it's actually you who are aging here. And because you are aging, what you are attracting into your life is this. It could be someone very spiritual, into spirituality, into and it's because that's what aging does to us. The aging is that we lose muscle power. Our body becomes weaker. When the body becomes weaker, it's less active. We become more passive. We become more feminine, actually. When we become more feminine, we can suddenly hear something, see something, experience something that is a little bit out of what you normally have been thinking about life and understood about life. So it could be that it's actually you who is experiencing an aging, right? Or a goodbye to something. And what you are facing is something very different. And you can only align with this here. You can only align with something like this, love-based here, if you take a look at this, whatever this is for you. I think I want to put it in the middle because I feel like a mirroring, that someone is what they are doing is a mirror to how you are rejecting something else in them, right? You are rejecting love here, perhaps, because you have been hurt. So you're rejecting the love in them. And they are rejecting the hate in you, you could say, something like that. Or the bitterness, or the closeness, the openness they may have here. You're rejecting it because you cannot be open towards them. And they are rejecting your closeness. You see, something like that. Can there somehow be a bridge between them? Can we have a card on that? So I get the Magician here. The Magician is someone who can use all four elements. It's a change of, you could say, the sorcerer, the dark sorcerer, into a more light sorcerer here. You can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. It starts with a change of belief, right? From maybe being more closed off here, driven by self-centeredness, you can have a new beginning. The sorcerer and the magician, for me, the rainmaker, it's the same thing. Like, they all have miraculous powers here. And they can manifest something very beautiful, but it, again, can they somehow find each other? If they can find each other, that you can have the life you wish for. So if this is a person you're very interested in, you're very passionate about, right? Maybe you are very drawn to them. And there's a reason for that, right? There's a reason for it. It's because secretly deep down you want that wholeness, you want that love here. And you know you're not encompassing it yourself. That's why we are drawn to these people, right? It's the opposite, and they have probably been very drawn to you. Because the light they have here, it gets drawn to the darkness in you here. That is a universal law. It's written in the stars. It's cosmic knowledge. It's not new. But something here is standing its ground for now, I feel like. It's not budging. I feel like it wants to connect with the magician in you here. But it's supposed to be equal, right? It's supposed to be give and take. It's supposed not to be only serving one. It should be serving both. And this is what they're telling you. I can't align myself with you as long as you are like this. Maybe they're standing by here, waiting. I don't know. I think they're doing their own stuff here, though. But and becoming more and more aligned with a higher frequency. More and more higher love frequency here. And it's pissing you more and more off, perhaps, here, actually. At the same time, you can't get them out of your head. It could be something like that. I think that these two could be a power couple together. They could make anything happen in the world they want. But the integrity has to be aligned. They could be, I think they're doing their own stuff, but maybe I don't know if they're waiting. I don't think they're waiting. They're just, actually, I feel like they're just standing more and more in their own integrity, in their own light, in their own power. And I think it could piss you off here not to be able to control them or steer them or have them somehow, like. But it's something you have to work your way through, why it is that you want to somehow contain them or hold them or chain them or something in the first place. Why do you want to do that? Yeah, so okay, this is what I have for this what now or what to do now, or because it seems like we cannot find common ground. What now? like that kind of question. And it turned out to be a reading like this. So maybe some of you out there are struggling with something like this, and you are not understanding someone else's behavior. Maybe I've shed a light on something like that for you now. I hope this helped. Take care of yourself out there. Love and light. Bye bye.